During World War II, comic books became far more than simple entertainment. They turned into a powerful tool for propaganda, moral building, and even direct support on the troops on the front lines. In today's episode, we'll explore how both Marvel, then Timely Comics, and DC harnessed the medium to rally readers against the Axis powers. From Captain America's famous punch to Hitler on the cover to DC's blistering slap-a-jab features. Let's dive into how superheroes and patriotic themes shaped public sentiment between 1941 and 1945. When the United States entered the war in December 1941, comic book publishers recognized an unprecedented opportunity, an obligation to support the war effort. Before America's official entry, titles like Action Comics and Detective Comics already flirted with heroic tales, but post-Pearl Harbor, the focus shifted sharply. Superheroes were reimagined as champions of democracy, explicitly taking on German and Imperial Japan. Publishers wanted to keep spirits high on the home front and encourage enlistment. One of the most iconic images from this era is Captain America Comics #1, released in March 1941, months before America actually joined the fight. Created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby under Timely Comics, which would become Marvel later, the cover doesn't mince words. Steve Rogers in red, white and blue costume is shown delivering a right hook squarely to Adolf Hitler's jaw. This was a deliberate act of defiance. Hitler was still a foreign threat, but not yet officially an American enemy. But by punching him on the cover, Simon and Kirby made a bold statement. America needed to wake up to the danger across the Atlantic. Inside the issue, Cap disrupts saboteurs attempting to destroy an American military base. Within weeks of its release, over 1 million copies of Cap 1 sold, an extraordinary figure for the time. The sales demonstrated that readers were hungry for a superhero who didn't just fight criminals, but hit back at real-world enemies. This cover image quickly became one of the most enduring symbols of American pop culture's commitment to defeating fascism. Meanwhile, DC Comics was also deploying its flagship characters in the service of wartime propaganda. Superman and Batman had already appeared in patriotic stories, but it was in Action Comics that DC adopted some of the crudest, most blatant propaganda tactics. The phrase slap a jab is often associated with Action Comics #58. In this cover, Superman or other character is shown slapping Japanese soldier. While intended to stoke patriotic fervor, these depictions also relied on racist caricatures that are deeply offensive by modern standards. Covers and stories portrayed Axis soldiers with exaggerated facial features, reinforcing dehumanizing stereotypes. For example, the cover shows Superman shattering a Japanese war tank with the tagline "Slap a Jab," emblazoned in bold letters. DC's rationale was twofold. First, reinforce American unity against shared enemy. Second, provide soldiers overseas with a morale boost. DC even distributed victory books, stripped down reprints of Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman for free to GIs. Many dug into these comics in foxholes, prone to boredom and homesickness. The hyper-patriotic covers and stories reminded them of what they are fighting for, freedom and democracy. Both Timely and DC collaborated with US government and war bonds drives. In 1942, Captain America teamed with President Roosevelt on the cover of special 16-page comic leaflet, urging readers to buy war bonds. Similarly, DC published a series of patriotic one-shots, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman appearing alongside FDR and Winston Churchill, encouraging cash donations for the Red Cross or thrift drives. On the front lines, comics were more than just reading material. They served as critical escape from the horrors of trench warfare and jungle fighting. The bright colors, simple moral messages, and heroic triumphs offered hope. Enlisted men often traded comics in camps, creating a grassroots distribution network. Letters from soldiers published in later issues attested to how a single comic could brighten a night in foxholes or help troops felt connected to home. Patriotic covers also translated to millions of dollars in war bond sales. The Office of War Information recognized comics as powerful medium to reach younger audiences. Teens who were not yet eligible to enlist but could buy war stamps that contributed to bond totals. Of course, much of racist imagery, especially the caricatures of Japanese and German enemies, stands as a stark reminder of how propaganda can dehumanize populations. Later generations would look back critically at these comics, acknowledging both their role in bolstering American morale and their problematic stereotypes. Yet there is no denying their lasting impact. Characters like Captain America, who debuted as patriot symbol, evolved after the war into enduring icons of justice and resilience. DC's Batman and Superman continued to shift from wartime saviors to complex, morally nuanced heroes in subsequent decades. The wartime era set a precedent. Comics were not just trivial fun. They had the power to influence public opinion, inspire charitable acts, and even support the entire war effort. World War II transformed American pop culture, and comic books played a major role in it. From punching Hitler in the face to shouting "slap a Jap," publishers wove propaganda, patriotism, and entertainment into a single package. If you like this material, please leave a like, please leave a comment, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. This was Comics Guy. Cha-cha!